this video, we will be looking at the final three indices rules. So looking at rule number 6 here, if we have a fraction that is raised to the power, we must apply that power to the top and the bottom of the fraction. So looking at an example, if we had 3/4 to the power of 2, we will now need to apply this power of 2 to the top and the bottom of the fraction. So this will now become 3 to the power of 2 over 4 to the power of 2, which gives us a final answer of 9/16. For the seventh rule, if we have a number to the negative power, we now need to do 1 over this whole number, and that power then turns into a positive. Looking at an example, if we had 8 to the power of -3, first we take the reciprocal of the whole number, so 1 over, and now 8 to the power of -3 will become 8 to the power of +3. So we do 1 over the whole number and turn the power from a negative to a positive. And for our final rule here, if we have a number to a fractional power, we will need to take the mth root, so take this m over, and then raise that answer to the power of n. So let's look at an example. So if we had 8 to the power of 2/3, we need to take this denominator over and root it by that number. So here we would have a cube root of 8. And whatever this answer is, we will raise it to the number on the numerator, which in this question is 2. So a cube root of 8 is 2. So 2 squared gives us 4. And now, just before we move on to some exam style questions, I have linked a PDF document with all of these indices rules on there, so you can download it and use it as part of your revision. Looking at this question here, it's worth 3 marks, and we're asked to work out 27 to the power of 2/3 plus a half to the power of -3. So let's split these numbers up and work them out one by one. So here we have 27 to the power of 2/3. Now going back to our rule, if we have a number to the power of a fraction, we need to take this number over and root it by that, and then take that final answer and raise it to the power of this numerator. So that will give us the cube root of 27, and then we square that. So the cube root of 27 is 3. 3 times 3 times 3 gives us 27. So we get 3 to the power of 2, which gives us 9. For our second number, we have a half to the power of -3. Now for this one, we're going to have to apply 2 rules. So first of all, we can straight away see there is a negative power. So whenever we see that, the first thing we always do is take the reciprocal. So we'll do 1 over this whole number. So 1 over a half to the power of 3, as that negative power now becomes positive. Now we apply the second rule, which is when we have a fraction raised to a power, we just raise the top and the bottom by that power. So this will now become 1 over 1 cubed over 2 cubed, which gives us 1 over 1 over 8. Now if we were to rewrite this, it would be 1 divided by 1 over 8. And when we divide a fraction, we multiply and flip the second fraction. So this will give us 1 multiplied by 8/1, which is just 8. Now these are the values for both of these numbers. So to work this question out, we just need to add them two together. So 9 plus 8 gives us a final value of 17. Looking at another question here, this is for 2 marks. We need to simplify 2 to the power of -5 multiplied by 2 to the power of 8 in brackets, all raised to the power of 2. Now The first step that we can take is we can see that we have two base numbers here which are the same and we're multiplying. So if we go back to our previous video, when we multiply two base numbers which are the same, we add the powers together. So 2 to the power of minus 5 multiplied by 2 to the power of 8 gives us 2 to the power of 3. So now what we need to work out is 2 to the power of 3 being raised to the power of 2. Now when we raise one power to another, we multiply the powers together. So this will give us a final answer of 2 to the power of 6. And this question asks us to give the answer as a power of 2, so we will leave it in this format. Now we've got a 4-marker question here. Please pause the video and attempt this question, and we will mark it together once you're done. Looking at part A, it asks us to write down the value of 7 to the power of 0. Now, as we looked at earlier, anything to the power of 0 equals 1. Therefore, 7 to the power of 0 will also equal 1. Part B, we need to find the value of 3 multiplied by 3 to the power of 6 multiplied by 3 to the power of minus 6. Now all three base numbers are the same and we're multiplying, so we're just going to go ahead and add all of the powers together. So we're going to have 3 to the power of 1 plus 6 plus, and a minus is a minus, so minus 6, which just gives us a final answer of 3 to the power of 1, which is just 3. For part C, find the value of 2 to the power of minus 4. Now it's a negative power, so straight away we take the reciprocal, so we do 1 over 2 to the power of 4, and that negative power now becomes positive. And 2 to the power of 4, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 gives us 16, which is our final answer. For the last part, find the value of 27 to the power of 1 over 3. Now when we have a number and we raise it to the power of a fraction, we take this denominator over and root it by that, and then take that answer and raise it to the power of the numerator. So by taking this 3 over, we will be cube rooting 27 and just raising that answer to the power of 1, which will just be itself here. So the cube root of 27 is 3. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. So 3 to the power of 1 is just 3. We've got another 3-marker question here. Again, if you want to just pause the screen and attempt this question on your own, and we'll mark it together once you're finished. So for this question here, we've got a fraction with a bracket on the numerator, and we're multiplying some numbers on the denominator. So whenever we have questions like this, where it seems like there's a lot going on, the best way to approach them is step by step. So first of all, let's simplify the numerator. So here we have 6x to the power of 5, y to the power of 3, and we're raising all of this to the power of 2. Now, when we are raising something to the power of 2, we need to raise everything within the bracket to this power of 2. So we're going to do 6 squared, which is 36. X to the power of 5 raised to the power of 2. When we raise one power to another, we multiply them together. So 5 times 2 is 10. So that will give us x to the power of 10. Y to the power of 3 raised to the power of 2. Again, multiply the powers together, which will give us y to the power of 6. So now the numerator looks a lot more neater. Now let's do the same thing with the denominator. We've got 3x squared, y to the power of 7, multiplied by 4xy to the power of minus 3. Now we're multiplying here, so let's just multiply all the like terms together. Start off with the coefficients. 3 times 4 is 12. X to the power of 2 multiplied by x on its own, which is just x to the power of 1. Same base, so we add the powers, which will give us x to the power of 3. Y to the power of 7 multiplied by y to the power of minus 3. 7 minus 3 is 4, so that will give us y to the power of 4. So now we can rewrite this question with the numerator now being 36 x to the power of 10, y to the power of 6, over 12 x to the power of 3, y to the power of 4. Now to simplify this, we can split this fraction up based on the like terms. So now this fraction can be written as 36 over 12 multiplied by x to the power of 10 over x to the power of 3 multiplied by y to the power of 6 over y to the power of 4. So we've split up the coefficients, the x's and the y's. So if we were to work this out, 36 over 12 gives us 3. X to the power of 10 over x to the power of 3, we minus the powers, so that will give us x to the power of 7. Y to the power of 6 over y to the power of 4, again minus the powers, which will give us y to the power of 2. Moving on to the next question. We've got a fraction here which has been raised to the power of 3. Now, before we go ahead and raise the top and the bottom by the power of 3, we can see here that these base numbers are the same. So we can actually simplify this fraction first and then raise it to the power of 3. So if we look at this fraction, we've got 2a to the power of 2 over a to the power of minus 3. Now when we're dividing with the same base number, we minus the powers, so this coefficient will stay the same. We'll have a to the power of 2 minus minus 3, minus minus is a plus, so that will give us a to the power of 5. Now we need to raise this to the power of 3. So we raise everything within this bracket to the power of 3. So 2 to the power of 3 is 8. A to the power of 5 raised to the power of 3. When we raise a power, we multiply them. So that will give us a to the power of 15. And for the last question in this video, we need to simplify 4a to the power of a half multiplied by 3a to the power of 2. So we're multiplying here. So if we look at this number, we've got two coefficients, two a's here. So we can go ahead and collect like terms. So if we multiply across, 4 times 3 gives us 12. A to the power of a half multiplied by a to the power of 2. We have the same base, so we go ahead and add the powers. So that will be a half plus 2. Half plus 2 over 1. Get the same denominator, so that will give us 4 over 2. So our final answer will be 12a to the power of 5 over 2.